In this video we will prove that n square minus n is always divisible by 2 where n is any positive integer. So this is another way of quoting your questions whatever you saw till now. So now we want to prove that n square minus n is always divisible by 2. N is any positive integer, that is what is given. Alright. So in order to prove that, understand this one, this is what you have to prove finally. So this is what you are supposed to prove. So n square minus n, so when we say n square minus n is divisible by 2, so when I divide n square minus n by 2, the remainder will be 0. Or in other terms, we have to prove that n square minus n is of the form 2q. Since the remainder is 0, it will be of the form 2q. So this is what we are supposed to prove. So n square minus n is 2q. So what is n? N is any positive integer. So since n is any positive integer, so n, again there are two cases here. So n can be either, since q I am using there, we will take it as 2m. So n can be either 2m or case 2, n can be 2m plus 1. So n is any positive integer. So when I divide n by 2, either it will be in the form 2m or it will be in the form 2m plus 1. So these are the two possible forms of n. So in both the cases we have to check what will be n square minus n. So when we solve for n square minus n, finally answer must be 2 into some integer q. Alright, so let's check this one. So now n is 2m, so what will be n square minus n? So what will be n? Which will be 2m square minus 2m. So 2m square, which will be 4m square minus 2m. Since we want this in the form 2 into q, don't take 2m outside, instead just take 2 outside. So when we take 2 outside, remains 2m square minus m. That is what remains here, correct? Now m is an integer, so m square will also be an integer. 2m square is integer minus integer. So this is integer minus integer. We saw already it is an integer. So this one now can be written as 2 into q, where q is an integer, correct? So now let's see this one. So now n we are taking in the form 2m plus 1. So again if we do n square minus n, we want it to be in the form 2 into q. So let's see if we get the same thing. So when we take n square minus m, so n square is 2m plus 1 whole square minus of 2m plus 1. So what is 2m plus 1 whole square? This is of the form a plus b whole square. So a plus b whole square will be a square plus 2 into 2m into 1, 2ab plus b square. And this minus I will take it inside, so it is minus 2m minus 1. So let's simplify this one. 2m whole square, which is 4m square plus 4m plus 1 minus 2m minus 1. So plus 1 minus 1 gets cancelled, remains 4m square plus 4m minus 2m. So in all these things I can take, don't take 2m outside, since we want in the form 2q, just take 2 outside. So when I take 2 outside, what remains here? 2m square plus 2m minus m. Again the same thing. This is an integer plus integer minus integer will resultant is again an integer. So again it is in the form 2 into q. So what does this mean? You take any n, any positive integer n. So when you take n square minus n, this will always be an even number. That's what it says. I hope you understood this one.